सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या योग विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। ओम यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं वदवाक्य प्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः योगाः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्। ओम शंकरं शंकराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्य कृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्त ब्रह्म योग विद्या आचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो अस्मद् गुरुभ्यो नमः। संकल्पः तेषां कृपया योग वेदांत दर्शन साधन द्वारा अस्मिन् क्षणे एव आत्मानुभूति कैवल्य प्राप्त्यर्थं सनातन धर्मस्य वैदिक हैंदव संस्कृतेः साम्प्रदायानां योग भक्ति ज्ञानादि मोक्ष मार्गाणां गुरु शिष्य भक्त भगवत परंपरादीनां पुनरुत्थान जागरण विश्वव्याप्ति द्वारा विश्व आध्यात्मिक प्रगति एकता शांति पूर्वाभिवृद्ध्यर्थम् अस्मिन् धर्म संस्थापने कंकणबद्ध अस्माकं सह सर्वेषां निरंतर दिग्विजयार्थमनेक शास्त्राणाम् अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मध्ये श्री पतंजलि महर्षि प्रणीत योग दर्शन शास्त्रस्य व्यास भाष्य समेत अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मोक्षार्थं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। आदौ योग दर्शनाचार्याणां स्मरणं नमनं प्रार्थना। ओम हिरण्यगर्भाय नमः। ओम हिरण्यगर्भाय नमः। ओम हिरण्यगर्भाय नमः। ओम कपिलमहर्षये नमः। ओम कपिलमहर्षये नमः। ओम कपिलमहर्षये नमः। ओम पतंजलि महर्षये नमः। ओम पतंजलि महर्षये नमः। ओम पतंजलि महर्षये नमः। ओम व्यास महर्षये नमः। ओम व्यास महर्षये नमः। ओम व्यास महर्षये नमः। ओम अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। ओम अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। ओम अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। ओम अथ श्री पतंजलि महर्षि प्रणीत योग दर्शन शास्त्रं चतुर्थ पादः कैवल्यपादः। सूत्राणि विशेषदर्शिनः आत्मभाव भावना निवृत्तिः तदा विवेक निम्नं कैवल्य प्राग्भारं चित्तं तच्छिद्रेषु प्रत्ययान्तराणि संस्कारेभ्यः हानम् येषां क्लेशवत् उक्तं प्रसंख्याने अपि अकुसीदस्य सर्वथा विवेकख्यातेः धर्ममेघः समाधिः ततः क्लेशकर्मनिवृत्तिः तदा सर्वावरणमलापे तस्य ज्ञानस्य आनन्त्यात् ज्ञेयम् अल्पं ततः कृतार्थानां परिणामक्रमसमाप्तिः गुणानां क्षणप्रतियोगी परिणामपरान्तनिर्ग्राह्यः क्रमः पुरुषार्थशून्यानां गुणानां प्रतिप्रसवः कैवल्यं स्वरूपप्रतिष्ठा वा चितिशक्तेः इति। ओम शांति शांति शांति। इति श्री पतंजलि महर्षि प्रणीत योग दर्शन शास्त्रम। Friends, we have seen yesterday tatah klesha karma nivrutti. Tatah means from that continuous constant maintenance of dharma megha samadhi, the finer kleshas karmas also are removed. Dharma megha samadhi is that continuous constant maintenance of chitta in viveka khyati. Viveka khyati is discriminating between prakriti and purusha. With viveka khyati, whatever the siddhis come, even to that also when we have vairagya, then there is no other pratyas or distractions in the viveka khyati. It is nirvigna niraghata nirantara. The nirantara maintenance of viveka khyati, that this is purusha, this is prakriti, never allowing them to mix up. That status is called dharma megha samadhi. Right now what's happening to us? We the purusha are quickly getting identified with the prakriti. In fact, we are always chipakke hi rehte hain prakriti se. All our vyavahara, all our identities, all our talkings, they all prove that we have become one with the prakriti. Here the prakriti is a chitta vritti. Everything is chitta vritti only. The whole world is chitta vritti. Deha is chitta vritti. सारे वृत्तियां आई हैं, बस उससे हम चिपक गए, तो then we live like an identified person. Separating both of them, very highest art, subtlemost art, only achieved after yamana yamadi bahiranga sadhana, then sanyama antaranga sadhana, After all that is done, only when that Sayama is used in the Viveka Khyati, that this Viveka Khyati of ability to separate ourselves to be Purusha and the Prakriti to be other than us will come. वही बड़ा स्ट्रगल है. एंड वाइल रीचिंग इट लॉट ऑफ सिद्धिस उसको भी मना कर दिया. देन जा करके निरंतर विवेक ख्याति मेंटेन्ड. दैट्स कॉल्ड धर्म मेघ समाधि. सो तल्लाभाद अविद्यादयः क्लेशाः समूलकाशं कशिता भवन्ति. कुशला कुशलाश्च कर्माशयाः समूलघातं हता भवन्ति. When that dharma mega samadhi is maintained regularly, we are doing now 30th sutra. Tataha klesha karma nivrutti means tallabhat. When one establishes in dharma mega samadhi, kleshaha pancha kleshas avidya smita ragdeva samula kasham kashita bhavanti. Along with the mula of the avidya, all the kleshas get eliminated. Then kushala kushalascha karma shayaha. The kushala karma, mishra karma. All that कर्म प्राप्त करने वाले आशय the vasanas samula ghatam hata bhavanti. From the root level they also get eliminated. So that power of maintenance of dharma mega samadhi, beautiful state. If you can imagine it, if you can comprehend it, if you can just feel it, how it looks like. धर्म मेघ समाधि में सारे 5 क्लेश, सारे 3 कर्म अपने बीजों के साथ दग्ध हो जाते, चले जाते. क्लेश कर्म निवृत्तो. When the kleshas have gone, karma has gone, 3 karmas. Jivaneva vidwan, such a vidwan, such a mahayogi, jivaneva, while being in this upadhi, still vimukto bhavati, he is liberated. How is liberation? How do you explain it? Kasmat, kaise kaise? See the answer. Yasmat, because viparyeya bhavasya karanam. The ignorance, and after the ignorance, misconception. है ना? Avidya, ignorance of the self. Then the identity with the not self, or non-apprehension leading to the misapprehension was the karana of the samsara. है ना? यस्मात् विपर्ययः भवस्य कारणम संसारस्य. और नहीं क्षीण विपर्य. अब इनका विपर्य नहीं रहा. Misapprehension will lead to the samsara. Misapprehension is caused by the non-apprehension. Non-apprehension is replaced by the apprehension of the self. इस कारण से आत्मा का वहां ज्ञान होने के कारण यस्मात् विपर्यो भवस्य कारणम, अज्ञान ही संसार का कारण है. नहीं क्षीण विपर्यः. The one whose viparya, the samsara karana, the vidya क्षीण हो गया. Nobody who has reached that level, kaschit kenachit kvachitcha, whoever he may be, for whatever the reason, even once also, न जातः दृश्यते. We don't see him to be born again as a जीव, क्योंकि विद्या हो गया. Like yesterday, मृदेव सत्यम परमार्थभूतम, है ना? What a beautiful text. केवलोहम we were studying. मृत्कार्य भूतोपि मृदो न भिन्नः कुंभो सर्वत्र स्तु मृत स्वरूपात्. कुंभोस्ति कुत्र मृषा कल्पित नाम मात्र. Today, the other last 2 shlokas will be beautifully completing the picture. वेदांत में ब्रह्म तत्व का निर्धारण, जगत का निराकरण. Here also, the Atma Vidya has come, Vidya has gone away. Therefore, for the prakatya of the jiva, the samskaras, they are not there. Therefore, he will not be kenachit kvachitcha jataha drishyate. We don't see that again that jiva bhava is born to be bound. That is the meaning of klesha karma nivritti, leading to atma, leading to the moksha from punaha janma and samsara. यस्मात् विपर्ययः भवस्य कारणं नहि क्षीण विपर्ययः कश्चित् केनचित् क्वचिच्च जातो दृश्यते इति. He'll be no more born to be identified with, means a upadhi identified jiva bhava won't come again. Because through dharma megha samadhi, klesha karma पूरे हो गए. Klesha karma were pushing. The presence of jiva bhava identified the upadhi. I mean, those things have gone away. The self remains as self. It doesn't come down to be identified with the upadhi to be born as jiva to suffer samsara. This is how through the Sanyama, through the Viveka Khyati, through the Paramairagya, through the Dharma Megha Samadhi, through the Karma, uh, Klesha Karma Nivrutti, through the avoidance in the self by removal of the avidya, the samsara is finally eliminated. Moksha is achieved. Done. Now, Ikatisva mantra. What he says, एक फर्दर विनिष्पन्न समाधिस्थो मुक्तिम तत्रैव जन्मनि प्राप्नोति योगी योगाग्नि दग्ध कर्म चयोचिरात्. So विनिष्पन्न समाधिस्थो, the one who has fully established in dharma mega samadhi, muktim tatraiva janmani prapnoti. In that very life only he'll get the moksha. Yogi, such a yogi, yoga agni dagda karma chaya achirat. Because of his yoga agni, all the karma chaya, the collected vasana of the past are dagdha achirat very soon. So dharma mega pramadhi leads to that yoga agni which burns away all the upachita karma which otherwise are cause for samsara और जन्म मरण, वो सब जल जाते हैं. इसलिए उसी जन्म में उनको मुक्ति हो जाता. We need not wait for 5, 10, 20, 30 lives. इसी जन्म में भी होगा अग्नि से मोक्ष. वेदांत also एक क्षण में मोक्ष होता है if you are पक गए in their वेदांतिक विचारण and ध्यान. Even bhakti, the devotion is very intense. The Lord will come and take you to his lok. क्षण में हो जाता. If we are at that highest qualification and performance level. Okay. Now, अब जाकर के once through this Mahayoga Agni, the Klesha Karma are destroyed, Avarana and Mala पूरा निकल गया. Therefore, always that yogi is in that Atma Jnana Sthiti. Therefore, to him, other than him, not at all seen. If at all seen, a little for Vyavahara, very vague. Just like for you and I, now the Vedantic thought or yogic sthiti is absolutely vague and misty. To a Mahayogi, the Atma Anubhava is so clear, and in that somewhere in the corner, very little and misty, little vaguely, the world may appear and he will do something, and if at all something to be done, otherwise it's fully in that awakened state of Atma. There is nothing called Gneyam for him, it's Alpam, insignificant only. Only for little Vyavahara, he may touch it, but always he is in that bliss of the infinite self. This is called moksha. ऐसे हम पूरा संसार में फंस कर लिटिल भगवान को सुनने, जानने या पढ़ने, देखने का कोशिश कर रहे हैं. उसमें भी फेल होकर 100% वे आर संसारी होंगे. Same way, the other opposite extreme is the yogi who has burnt away all ashayas and karma. In the Yogagni in his final stages, he will have nothing but the Swarupa Pratishthanubhuti, that Anatma will be little here and there vague, the upadhis for him to function if it is required. But otherwise, reveling in his own self. Yasya Brahmani Ramate Chittam in Vedanta. Atmanam Chet Vijaniyat Avasmit Purushaha. That is a state. Atma Vavera Sarvatra Samampasha. Or Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma. So every of the Shastra talks about. That's the stage. So the Sutra 31 says, Sattada, that time, Sarva Avarana Mala Apetasyam, Jnanasya Anantyat, Gneyamalpam, Tada Sarva Avarana Mala Apetasya, Jnanasya Anantyat, Gneyamalpam, Tada Sarva Avarana Mala Apetasya, Jnanasya Anantyat, Gneyamalpam, Tada Sarva Avarana Mala Apetasya, Jnanasya Anantyat, Gneyamalpam. So tada, at that time, sarva avarana malapetasya yogina, or the sthiti. of the yogi in his chitta, and every of the mala viksham, everything is gone away. Jnanasya anantyat means that jnana, that I am the pure self. Anantyat is continuous. He is that in that mood only. Then the prakriti, which is Gneya Vastu for him, is alpam, very corner. He only knows it. He never identifies with it. He never gives reality to it. He never goes along with it. ज्ञान से अनंत्यात हमेशा शुद्ध आत्मज्ञान में रहने के कारण ज्ञेय उपाधियां, ज्ञेय जीव भाव, ज्ञेय द आउटर वर्ल्ड इज अल्पम. अल्पम आई से बिकॉज व्यवहार के लिए थोड़ा होता होगा. अदरवाइज इज नॉट लाइक अर्लियर कि उपाधियों से चिपक कर, जगत में चिपक कर, and doing all gymnastics and getting sufferings. He will not do all of them. Beautiful state it is. Now, sarvaihi klesha karma avaranaihi vimuktasya. The one through his yoga who has vimukta, became free from sarvaihi kleshaihi, sarvaihi karmaihi, sarvaihi avaranaihi vimuktasya. Is free from the klesha and the karma. Klesha is avidya asmita. Karma are the vasanas, etc. Avarana is the ignorance of the self. अब सेल्फ इज अप्रिहेंडेड नो, इसलिए वो आवरण चला गया. तो सर्वैः क्लेश कर्म आवरणैः विमुक्तस्य ज्ञानस्य आनंत्यम भवति. ज्ञानस्य आनंत्यम मीन्स निराघाट रूपेण, निरंतर रूपेण, that jnana anubhuti remains to him, that he is the conscious self only. चेतना आत्मा में हो, इसको हमेशा उसमें रहना. ज्ञान से आनंत्यम, उसका अंत नहीं होता, हमेशा हो. अभी भी है वो, बट नाउ वी आर विथ भाव, जीव भाव, बिकॉज ऑफ क्लेश कर्म एंड आवरण. These three have gone, then I am in apprehension of my essential self, that I am the Chaitanya Atma. वो निरंतर चलता रहता है. सर्वैः क्लेश कर्म आवरणैः विमुक्तस्य ज्ञानस्य अनंत्यम भवति. अनंतता ज्ञान का रहेगा. Never it is broken. Okay. Okay. आवरणकेन तमसा अभिभूतम् आवृत ज्ञान सत्वं क्वचिदेव रजसा प्रवर्तितम् उद्घाटितं ग्रहण समर्थं भवति. Very minute of the gunas he will take only to see the anatma little bit. तत्र यदा सर्वैरावरणमलैर अपागतमलम् अमलं सर्वैरावरणैर अपगतमलं, तत्र यदा सर्वैः आवरणमलैः अपगतम् अमलं भवति, when even though the aparana avarana also goes away, tada bhavati asya anantyam. So the santata of the jnana is identification with the jiva bhava. Because of identity with the upadhis at that time, the शुद्ध ज्ञान द टाइम आत्मन वो शांतम होता है, अनंतम नहीं होता. अब आवरण बल क्लेश गए ना, क्लेश कर्म आवरण चले गए. Therefore there is nobody who pulls that Atma Chaitanya to become Jiva with identity with the Upadhi. That is the meaning he says. Avarana kena tamasa abhibhutam. Okay. Avarana is the tamo guna because of which the self is not apprehended. Then avruta jnana sattvam, at that time I am the self, that jnana sattva is covered. Kvachideva rajasa pravartitam udghatitam. Then the rajas comes into expression and pushes the self only as if to identify the upadhi and be a karta bhokta. Then grahana samartham bhavati, at that time the self identifies or recognizes something other than himself. But tatra yada sarvairavaranamalairavagatam amalam bhavati. But when that pure self is becomes amala, because all the avaranas have gone away, that time tada bhavati asya anantyam, the jnana anubhuti nirantar remains to this yogi. So yogi ko jnana anubhuti hoti hai is not like that yogi is eating some sweet and is feeling the sweetness. Yeah, yogi ko jnana anubhuti means I am the Shuddha Chaitanya Swarupa. That state is always maintaining in. Then jnanasya anantyad gneyam alpam sampadyate. Then the gneyam is alpam sampadyate. Example dekho, yata akashe khadyotaha. In the infinite akasha, where sunlight is blazing so much, What the position of that Khadyota, the Jugnu? इतना सामने इतना छोटा तक ज्ञेय हो जाता है. Now the Jnaya is so big for us, the world, that the Shuddha Atma is not at all remembered by us. हमको दिखता ही नहीं. बट ये जब क्लेश कर्म आवरण निकल गया, then ज्ञान का अनंत्य हो जाता है, then तो ज्ञेय will be very minute. So ज्ञानस्य अनन्त्यात् ज्ञेयम् अल्पं सम्पद्यते यथा आकाशे खद्योतः यत्र इदम् उक्तम्. And to explain the state of that Jivan Mukta yogi, a very funny example is given. Because that nobody can talk about him. It's only an experience. Again, Andho Manima Vidyat Tamananguliravayato Agrivastam Pratyamunchato Tamajjihvobhya Pujayatiti. अब देखो, the impossibility of talking about the state of being of the Paripakva yogi. Very funny. Andaha Manima Vidyat. A blind person had made beautiful holes to that money, the beads. Tam ananguli avayatu, and a person without fingers has put the thread into those holes and then made it a mala. Agrivaha tam pratyamunchatu, a person without the neck has put it in his gala. Then ajihvu abhya pujayat, a person without tongue going on praising the beauty of that necklace or garland made out of those beads. Only to say that it is impossible to talk about the glory of that saint, the yogi. है ना, अंधा बंदा सो होल कर रहा है, person without fingers is putting thread in it, and that mala is weared by a person without neck, and a person without tongue is praising him कि बढ़िया है तुम्हारा माला. See that picture, how impossible. In the same way, a atmajnani, a yogi cannot be described, only an experience it is. Not that atmajnani or yogi loses his fingers and the mouth and the neck भी चला जाएगा, ऐसा मत समझना. As much it is an impossibility to talk about this thing, so much is impossible to talk about that Ajnani's Anubhuti, the Yogi's Anubhuti. Okay, with this 31 sutras we have seen, 3 more are there, Kal or Parso. Thank you. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om, Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, Tat Sat Brahma Arpanamastu. Yes.